Hello guys and welcome to the Fly Sim Geek. Today we'll be talking about one of the topics which has been, over the internet, over the computer enthusiasts for many years, and it is Intel versus AMD. Which of the following company makes the better chips for gaming, overall performances, and especially in this case we'll be talking about Flight Simulator. So you can simplify it as which one of the companies, Intel versus AMD, makes better chips, especially for flight simulators. Now if we go up to the internet and research of AMD versus Intel, we get different comparisons which can be related to their prices, related to their performances, and related to their reliability and things like that. Now, the comparisons we get over the internet include AMD Ryzen's and the Core i9. Now we know that both of them are very new releases and are priced really high, and most of the people cannot actually afford them. So we'll be talking about Core i5, Core i7, Core i3 compared to AMD's A series and things like that. Now as for the value thing, let's make it clear, AMD actually wins in this comparison. You can get an AMD chip quite cheap compared to an Intel chip. Now if you're looking for an AMD dual core processor, you can get it from around $30 to $40 as well. Yeah, I know that's really cheap, but that includes some a bit older chips. So if we get to the Core i5 or Core i3 processors of Intel, we get them even you can get a refurbished Core i5. Talking about the second generation, you'll get a refurbished processor for around $80, $90, depending on what type of, you can say, in what condition it is. Anyway, so moving on, we have this overall price comparison. Although these are pretty new processors, but still, let's just make a simple price comparison. Now the AMD Threadripper 1950X, it's a new processor, comparatively new processor, and it is priced at around $900 compared to the Core i9 7960X. So the Core i9 7960X is priced at $1600, which means that it is $700 expensive, or $700 more than the Threadripper 1950X. Talking about the power use, it has been heard that AMD kind of uses more power as compared to the Intel. Now, a few years back, talking about maybe 2012, 2013, 14, 15, those years, there was kind of a bigger difference between the AMD chips versus the Intel chips. Now, a few years back, if you would ask anybody for whether if you should buy an Intel processor or an AMD processor for flight simming, well, most of the answers would be Intel. They'll say that Intel will perform really better, and yeah, that was really the case. It was really the case. Now, in 2018, if you're looking for a newer chip, then you need to do more research on this topic, because people are saying that the Ryzen X, the Threadripper, compared to Core i9 or the newer one Core i7s, well, they're giving some really good comparisons. And as far as prices compared, or the price is concerned, we can say, well, both of them are quite expensive, and only time will tell which one remains on top. Anyway, if you go for a processor like an AMD A10 versus the Intel i7. Now we have a comparison at CPU Boss comparing the Core i7-4770K. We know that's a really good processor, 4th generation and overclocked, compared to an 7850K, and it is unlocked as well. Well, I just read that the newer one, Ryzen's, all of them can actually be overclocked, so that is one limitation which has been eliminated from the AMD side. And as for Intel, you need to look for an X or K there to overclock it. Now, as I was saying, the price comparison, AMD wins. So on Newegg, CPU Boss says that 8.1 is the rating out of 10 for this i7 and 8.7 for this AMD. And on Newegg, the price for this Intel chip is $248. That is roughly like $250 and $115 for the AMD series. Now, just comparing the prices and just this simple rating, if you're just looking at those two things, they've got a difference of 0.6. So AMD chip is actually winning from a score of 0.6. That means a lot. Let me tell you, that means a lot. But if prices compared, you can say that it's like a difference of $130 maybe, something like that. So anyways, looking at the performance, going into a more detailed review, the Core i7 is performing really better when using all of those cores, and as well as using a single core. So you can say that you'll need to have a deeper look, just not watching these ratings and just not looking into these prices. You cannot make a decision that either one of them is better. So they all core, or you can say multiple core performance, and the single core performance of AMD lacks a bit as compared to Core i7. And yeah, I'm talking about not the very new one systems, not the newer one chips, the like those which have arrived 2-3 years back, like i7 4th generation and things like that. Now, as far as the integrated graphics are concerned, let me tell you, we all know that Intel chips actually come up with the, you can say, Intel SD integrated graphics, although they're not really good, but yes, you can still use them as far as you don't have a discrete graphic card. And compared to AMD, well, AMD chips are now coming with the APU. So APU unit, APU, or you can say AP unit. So that acts like that contains, you can say, the integrated AMD Radeon graphic card chips within the processors, and they're comparatively doing better. They're doing better than the Intel SD graphics. So a simple integrated graphics comparison, we get 10. It gives 10 to the integrated graphics of 7850K compared to a 4770K or even a 4790K. Now, as for the performance per watt, I was saying the AMD tend to use more power as compared to Core i7, are much better, you can say, the Intel ones. Now, that was what I was saying before. If you don't have a really good PSU or a very powerful PSU, something around 700 watts, and you're looking for a good chip, then it is better that you don't go to the AMD chips, because we all know that graphic cards use a lot of power, so we have to leave some for them. Anyways, talking about my personal opinion, AMD is said to get hotter, work at higher temperatures as compared to Intel chips. And in hotter countries like where I live, most of the people don't use this AMD chips. They say that these get hotter and might just blow away due to extreme temperatures as compared to Intel. So in this case, Intel is much more reliable. And then the next thing which comes is the dust. Yeah, we all know that dust plays a very, you can say, important role, kind of important role in your system. You have to keep your system clean and free from all kind of dust. It is said that AMD chips actually can't resist much dust and might actually stop working if you're not able to clean your system, compared to an Intel chip which can actually survive in comparatively worse conditions. Anyways, just simply answering this question with that, is Intel better than AMD or AMD better than Intel in terms of flight simming? Well, the simple answer is AMD is not better as compared to Intel, or Intel is much better as compared to AMD, provided that you're talking about chips, a little older chips, not the newer ones. But as prices compared, if you don't have anything and just prices there but you have to compare them, just go for an AMD chip. Anyways, thanks for sparing your time. This was Flight Sim Geek. If you liked the video, click that like button and subscribe to the channel.